Hi everyone, my name is Sarah from Joyful Learning Homeschool. I just wanted to do a video to give you all a preview of my new unit study for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is a 9-week study that includes language arts, science, art, magical creatures, and some extras. I created this for my 9-year-old, so I do have it as second grade or higher, but you know your child best, and you know their reading comprehension level and overall reaction to the content. So if Harry Potter is new to you, then I would definitely pre-read it. Okay, so I have created a teacher's manual and a student notebook for language arts. There are no special pages or notebooks needed for the other subjects. I have my daughter just use a regular spiral notebook for science and vocabulary. I first want to show you a little bit of the teacher's manual. In the beginning, I have the introduction as well as a page about the curriculum, which will include most of what I'm going to mention in this video. So I have this set up at a pace of 2 chapters per week. I will go ahead and just show you the first week. So on the left side of your manual, you will have a list of what should be completed for that week. And it's divided into categories. For this week, we have language arts, science, magical creatures, and Wizarding World extras. Not every single week will have every single category. For example, this first week doesn't have art, but most weeks will have most of them. That's because the science, art, and magical creatures will all correspond with whatever's happening in the chapters. So, for example, when Harry ends up with troll boogers in his wand at Halloween, there is a troll booger science project. Or during the chapter with Norbert the Dragon, dragons will be looked at for that week for magical creatures. Or when Harry goes school shopping with Hagrid, then the art project for that week will be creating your own Harry Potter storefront and things like that. Okay, so back to the teacher's manual. I have which chapters should be read on the very top. Those are to be completed first, and then everything else can be completed in whatever order you choose. Here on the right side of your manual, there's a page of details and notes. So this left side is a general breakdown with titles and everything that you get done. And this side has the links that you need for videos or just helpful information. Most of the student notebook is self-explanatory, but anything that might not be or anything that can be altered in some way will have a note on this page. For example, in the student notebook, day 1 is a narration page. So on my details and notes page, I say, for this day, your child is able to choose between writing a summary, drawing, or acting it out. My daughter always chooses to act. You can add more fun to this by turning it into charades. We take turns silently acting out scenes while the other guesses what scene it is. Also, for week 1, we are studying snakes for science. If you are familiar with the book, in chapter 2, there is the whole ordeal with the snake at the zoo. So that's why snakes are the first for science. For this week, I do have pre-study questions as a starting point for you. So things like, where do snakes live? Where do they eat? Not where do they eat, what do they eat? What are cold-blooded animals, etc. You can look at all of those questions over with your child and answer them as you go along. I have different books to read about snakes, YouTube videos. My kids love the Dr. Vanock show and SciShow Kids that I have listed here. Now I do have a note here to do an OutSchool class, but this is totally not required, but we did do it. If you have not used outschool.com before, we love it. It has Zoom classes for kids on all kinds of topics. You just search the topic you're looking for and kind of your times that you want and days, and it'll show different class options. Feel free to skip this if you are not a fan or if you don't want to pay for an extra class, etc. Then you'll move on to the last thing for science, which is a science journal entry. I have my daughter just use a plain spiral notebook for this. I just have her do something simple each week, such as write a sentence about something she learned and draw a picture and things like that. It's nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Next, you will see here that our magical creature for the week was also snakes. I'm going to show you this because I love this book. My daughter did also. Most of the magical creatures reading will come from here, and I do recommend purchasing it, but you don't have to. It was one of my buys during Amazon's buy two get one free sale. Anyways, last for our week are the Wizarding World extras. There are going to be from wizardingworld.com. You don't need an account to do the chapter quizzes or some of the other activities I have in the other weeks from there. My daughter just was obsessed with those quizzes, so I did include them each week. The links are here on this side. If you don't have an account already and Harry Potter is new for you guys, then I do recommend waiting to create an account until week 4 after reading the chapter The Sorting Hat. And then they do have a fun house sorting quiz and wand quiz. But if you're new and they don't know what that is, just hold off until that week. So that is it for week 1. The rest of the weeks follow the same format. The final week does include watching the movie, and there's a 20th anniversary activity pack link there as well. At the very end of the teacher manual is a master book list. These are all the books that are throughout the unit study. I included the week or weeks where they're used. The only absolutely required book is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I wanted this to be cost friendly, so the majority of these books can be found at local libraries. If for some reason you do not want to purchase the books and your library does not have these specific ones available, please talk to your librarian. I have been to several, and most librarians can pick out alternatives within seconds. So going back to our first week, if you cannot find the books listed about snakes, I promise your librarian will be able to find age-appropriate alternatives. On the flip side, if you're book happy like myself, feel free to buy every single one of these. I did include links to be able to find and purchase them easily on Amazon. At the very end of the teacher's manual, you will have a list of Harry Potter extras that we like, such as activity books, cookbooks, and games, and things like that. The last thing I'm going to show you is the student notebook for language arts. There are 9 weeks in the unit study and 5 pages per week. On the top, it'll tell you the chapters and day that you are on. I already showed you this first narration page. Here is a vocabulary page, a comprehension page. Now for vocabulary, the pages are very simple. Not all of them are formatted this way. I have pages of synonyms, antonyms, crossword puzzle. If you want to expand on those, I would use this as an opportunity to show your child how to use a dictionary, whether that be an online version like dictionary.com with your help, or a book copy from the library. If you like, in the same notebook you use for science or in a completely different one, have your child write out the words and the definitions they find, and then they can come back and complete the vocabulary pages. Now, I do have a couple of pages in here that are grammar related. Here is a page that defines a sentence and subject and predicates. I also have types of sentences, nouns, and adjectives. These pages may end up being review for you guys, but I feel like reviewing basic concepts never really hurts. And so that is really it. That is my unit study. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I know we had fun creating it and doing it together. So if you do decide to try it out, I would love to hear from you guys. In the description, I'll put a link for my website and Facebook page. Feel free to comment, email, Facebook message me, or whatever you choose. I will be posting more videos soon. And I will also post my daughter's favorites from this curriculum from each category.